One takeaway I have from their pages is how they're using GIFs or GIFs, however you want to say it. In this episode of The Edge, we are going to dive deep into the marketing of an online e-commerce brand that sells hearing aids. We are going to take a look at the marketing of Here.com. Hey guys, this is Jason with AdSkills.com, and let's jump on over to their website. All right, so I'm going to take a look at their website. The first thing that grabs my attention is this big hero image of a health professional. They've got a very simple headline right here, Here.com's hearing aids will change your life. Call to action right here. Check here to see if you qualify for a no-risk trial. And they've actually got a free guide right here. So I'm going to click on both of these. Interesting. No opt-in needed. They just take you right to that PDF. It's pretty interesting. A lot of times we're expecting these to be gated, that you would have to opt in with your email to get those, but they just go right to the PDF there. Let's click on the trial. Let's just go through this real quick. I'm just going to make some stuff up. I don't use hearing aids yet. Thank goodness. My dad does though. Oh, they're old hearing aids. It's telling me how modern hearing aids here are smaller and smarter. They feature Bluetooth connectivity, rechargeability. Oh, so that's just an instance where they're selling me on their product as I go through this. Just gonna make some stuff up. I'm gonna say yes. All right, so this is talking about how it treats you for tinnitus. So very custom quiz here. And this looks to be a pretty long quiz. There's the progress bar. I'm just going to go through this, right? So they're asking for my credit score here because they're going to offer some financing. Let's say fair. Okay, I'll say yes. Boom, they're hitting me with a review there. All right, so they're still price qualifying me here. So I answered some questions about insurance. So they're getting me ready for the fact that I still might have to pay $1,500 per device, or the person I'm filling this out for. Oh, wow. So this is a very custom quiz, right? It's very tailored decision tree. So I'm filling this out for someone else.
A few moments later.
All right, so let's see what it's given me here. It took me a while to fill that quiz out, but it says you qualify to try the new virtually invisible Sony hearing aids, that's pretty interesting, with a 45-day trial. So for as little as $31 a month, it gives the number that they're going to be calling from. Oh, wow. This is pretty interesting, right? So they're telling me I qualify, what type of hearing aids I qualify for, that they're going to be calling me within 15 minutes, the number to expect a call from, right? So down here, they've got a poll. So that is a pretty interesting funnel. Let's come back over to the homepage. They've got some credibility logos here. They're showcasing some product here. 2023 Big Innovation Award winner. This looks like another way to get into their funnel. Let's pretend I'm in California. Oh, it takes me to the same quiz there. So that's interesting that they have multiple different ways to get into this. So if you didn't click here, right, if you didn't just see this button to check and see, maybe that didn't entice you to click, you get down to this map, something that feels very specific, like you want to check in your area, that's going to lead you to the exact same quiz. They are showing here that they work with all major healthcare providers. So these are probably thoughts, concerns, objections that people have. They're thinking about hearing aids. They're wondering, hey, is this going to work with my insurance? So they answer that right away. So they're doing a lot to really pre-qualify you and get you ready for that call. When we scroll down here, they've got a testimonial section. They've got a video right here. When I scroll over these, I actually get the testimonials popping up. These look like real photos. They say they have over 200,000 customers. You can check more testimonials. Now, this is something I really like here. This is what I would call a wall of proof, right? Because people are skeptical. They need proof. So you can see all kinds of 5-star reviews here from Trustpilot embedded. You scroll down here and click on this video. Yeah, you're going to get a 2-minute highlight reel. So I think this is something that's very important, right? We have to remember that people are skeptical, and anytime you can just let them swim around in some proof and get comfortable, that's a great idea. Down at the bottom, they're showcasing their proof. Google reviews, 4.8. Their Better Business Bureau rating, A+, and their Trustpilot ratings, almost 1,300 reviews, and they've got their phone number nice and bold there. Let's take a look at another page. That was their homepage. Here's the page where I actually found here.com. It is an advertorial they're running, and the angle that they are using here is how two Germans are crushing the market with these powerful hearing aids. And this is an approach you tend to see a lot in native, how this tiny company is taking on this industry, or how this small company is turning this industry upside down, kind of an innovation angle. They're showing you what looks like to be the founders here. It feels like a story, how these guys are doing something so interesting that it's really disrupting the market. And hey, if that's happening, maybe it's a good product if you're in the market for a hearing aid. And I will say that they're putting some credibility logos here, some really nice logos: WebMD, Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Fox News. When we scroll down here, they're showcasing the product. And I think this is something that would be very interesting to hearing aid users, because I remember back in the day when those things were a lot bigger. So this seems to be some cool technology. This is kind of interesting here. They've created a visual that kind of relates sight to hearing, right? So seeing that blurry image is kind of related to not being able to hear that well. Boom. And showing you the comparison there of what it's like if you compared to vision. And again, here they've got the selectable state map. I think this is really good. It feels very specific for people. So you can click onto that, and that is going to take you into the questionnaire. And they're covering all the main points like they did in their homepage about the health insurance, hitting you with the trust here. And interesting thing here, it looks like they've created a mini block here that feels kind of like a blog, but I bet it's just all advertorials, different advertorials. So Harvard study finds people with untreated hearing loss are at higher risk for this condition. All right, so they've got that Harvard University angle. So you can see all of the advertorials that they're pretty much running. And this is kind of interesting, right? Maybe if this wasn't enough for you, you're going to surf around and read all of these other angles here. So you can just scroll through all of their advertorials. Let's jump on over to SimilarWeb and see what kind of traffic they're getting. And I've got to say too, here.com, that is one sweet URL. That probably was not cheap if they bought that anytime in the last 20 years. Gender distribution is pretty close here. This is interesting on the age distribution. I would have thought that they would have been that 65 plus would be their main category, but they've got a lot of even distribution through here. So they're getting a lot of these younger demographics. I figured it would be way more skewed towards over 65. I don't know if that's that the market is really there for these younger folks, or maybe the targeting isn't completely as dialed in as it needs to be. All right, let's take a look at their traffic distribution. What stands out to me the most is that almost 30% of it is from display advertising. Let's jump on over to SEMrush. We see that they're almost at 35K on their organic search traffic, paid search traffic 578, and they've got almost 24K backlinks. Let's take a look at some of their organic keywords. We see that they're coming up for their brand terms here, here.com, hearspace.com, hearing.com. What's really interesting is that they are ranking for the generic word here. That could be that premium URL that's really helping them do that, but that's got a nice chunk of traffic on there. When we get down into some different unique terms, we actually see audiologist near me. Let's see what happens when we click on that. Really not a lot going on here content-wise. They've just got a few sections of content, and then they're getting you right into their map here and right into their questionnaire. So they didn't have to do that much content-wise to actually land that term, audiologist near me, which is a pretty good one. And they're coming in number 6 for that, and that is a nice, healthy rating on that term. Plenty of traffic there. And we see they're coming up for German hearing aids. Maybe that's some of the awareness they've created in the market, doing some of those angles about, the Germans that have innovated in the hearing industry. All right, now let's take a look at some of their paid terms. They are bidding on those brand terms like here.com reviews. Once we get past the brand terms, we see they're bidding on things like hearing aids online, which is a perfect fit. They're bidding on as seen on TV, doctor of audiology near me, where can I get hearing aids near me, latest hearing aids. That's probably a very relevant term because someone that needs hearing aids, I think, are going to be interested in the latest technology and getting the smallest hearing aids. And let's just take a look at the kind of pages they are linking out to. So this page they're linking out to from paid search is kind of a skinny advertorial style, talking about some of the main features and benefits here. Right away we see a call to action, again with the map, which I really like. A lot of the elements we've seen in the previous iterations. One takeaway I have from their pages that I would consider a golden nugget is how they're using GIFs or GIFs, however you want to say it. But if you had a video here, it would be much more cumbersome of an experience they would have. The user typically needs to select to play that. But what's great about these GIFs is that they're just going to play in rotation and they're going to give you an idea about the product, right? And it just doesn't really take anything, from the user to engage with it. You just get a quick visual of what the product looks like there. And then when we see this next one and we see another GIF on the bottom here where he's actually showcasing the hearing aid and how it goes in, right? And what it actually looks like. Like I said, great thing about that is as a user, I don't have to do anything but just scroll and look at it and it's auto playing for me. It's a very nice lightweight way to showcase visuals. All right, let's jump on over to AdBeat. When I take a look at their ad spend here, they've spent a nice pretty penny in the last several months and their traffic is native traffic. So we see Taboola in the lead here, Outbrain, Rev Content, and some Microsoft advertising. So they've gone very heavy on native ads. So when I was surfing around, the ad that I actually found the company through was this one right here. This is the highest rated hearing aid in the US. Nice and simple. What's interesting here is that they're using a nice, pretty young woman who probably does not need a hearing aid in this photo to be an eye catcher. And she's showing the hearing aid. So not the avatar I would have thought to reach this market, but hey, it's a tactic though. So in this ad, we have an image showcasing the product and it says powerful German hearing aids crushing the market in the US. And that's an interesting headline, right? If you've ever heard that term German engineering, we think of those German sports cars and, Germans have been known for their engineering. So maybe that is a call out there, right, as to quality. This is an interesting image here. There's a lot going on in the background, sometimes just odd things like that that don't really relate to what you're talking about can grab people's attention. And what I'm talking about are all the boats, and there she's showcasing the tiny hearing aid. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of Here.com. This is Jason signing off, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Edge.